Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Robocraft X, the new pre-alpha physics sandbox game that has been updating really regularly, almost weekly the past month. And we have a new update that introduces a lot of new parts and some stuff that I really want to experiment with and see if we can create an actual projectile launcher thing. So I have a bit of a testing area here to compare and contrast the new parts to the old parts because some of them are different versions of old parts. But first, I noticed that they've also updated the physics of the game a little bit, and our experiment that we did in the last episode where we had these scales and I had this coin flip thing over here, it was really disappointing last episode because the coin flip did like half a flip. But now they've changed the way that some of the joints and things work, so check out what happens now. That goes much farther, lands on there, and you can see the coin does like 1.5 flips now instead of just the half a flip it was doing before. Yeah, we got 1.5. So yeah, my whole system that I set up here is now working more as intended, and I didn't even have to change anything, so I'm always a fan of that. All right, so let's get over here. We have some new parts to play with. So they've introduced pneumatics into this update. So we have our hinges, we have our axles, and now we have a new thing, a piston. We have a pneumatic piston. What was the other one called? I don't even remember. Servo piston, that's what it is. So basically the idea is that servo versions of these items, like the hinges and the pistons, are more of like a steady, strong version of the object, whereas pneumatics are kind of like burst strength. Like they can be used for much quicker speeds. So that's what we're going to be trying out with these tests here. So first, let's go over to these hinges. We have all 4 types of hinges. We have our standard small hinge. We have our servo hinge, I believe this one is. And I think this is the stepper hinge. And then we have the pneumatic hinge. And this switch should control all of them so we can see how they compare to each other. So this left one is completely unpowered, so it's probably not going to do anything. But if I go just a oh, okay, this isn't doing anything. You know why it's not doing anything? I need power. I totally forgot about the fact that we need to give our creations power. So I'm going to use the nuclear reactor here and just place that right there, and that should allow us to run everything. Okay, now here we go. Oh boy. Okay, so you can clearly see there is a clear difference between these 3 pistons, especially in just, oh, that one just got knocked over. Especially in just the speed. These 2 are the same speed, but the difference is, if I switch over to the right just a little bit, you can see this one stops at a fixed point. Now this one's going a lot slower, but it's gonna go all the way, and this one also stops at a fixed point. So, the pneumatic hinge is identical to the servo hinge, except for the speed. And the stepper hinge has the same max speed as the servo hinge, but has a variable speed depending on how much I do this. Yeah, so you can see it's a lot slower, and then it goes faster. All right, so yeah, the pneumatic hinges are going to be really useful for some quick speed there. All right, we're gonna leave those on their own now. Now we have motors. So what I'm gonna do is actually put an uneven weight on these things because I think that's gonna make it a little bit more obvious the difference between them. All right, here we go. So you can see the standard axle here is just free floating, and then I think we have an order of left to right, servo, stepper, and pneumatic. So let's give the switch a try. Is this one unpowered? Oh, I didn't set this one. Gotta set this one to input number 2. Okay, there we go. Now we should see the difference. All right, there we go. And if I slow down, yeah, you can see that the pneumatic and the servo one go to defined angles depending on where I put this. However, the stepper one changes its speed, but goes the full rotation. Okay, so now for the new stuff. We got the pistons over here, and also a spring. So we have the servo piston, we have the pneumatic, oh, I didn't do this in the right order. The pneumatic piston and the stepper piston, and then we have our spring, which is not powered. All right, so let's run the experiment. So the spring by default extends fully once the experiment starts, even though it starts at a 1 block distance, as you can see. When you start the experiment, it extends all the way. We got that nice experiment in the background going off. Okay, so now let's see. Oh, okay, not the way that I expected it to go. Okay, wait, is this one not on the right? Wait a minute, what is this? Isn't this the stepper piston? Oh, there's an additional part here that I didn't think about. So we do have a stepper piston, but I forgot to put it in here. So I'm just gonna stick it right in the middle there. So sorry for the lack of consistency with the spacing, but this is not a stepper piston like I thought it was. This is actually a telescopic joint, which is unpowered, and we can use these to demonstrate what the telescopic joint was after. Okay, so here we go. Now let's try the pistons. There we go. All right, so you can see, yeah, this is going to be a defined point on the pneumatic and the servo ones. And then just like everything else, the stepper piston will go from max to minimum at a certain speed, depending on how much you turn this lever. Oh yeah, look at that piston. That pneumatic piston is what I'm talking about right there. So now I'm actually curious, if I delete that, so now I have a loose block falling on top of that. What happens if I go like that? Holy cow. Okay, yeah. Making projectiles is going to be much easier now. Okay, now I want to see how much weight can this thing take. How's that going to do? Okay, that's actually taking a lot of weight. All right, what if I do that? No, it's still holding everything. Are you kidding me? What about that? That is a lot of weight there. Is there am I not getting something here? What if I delete that and then I'm just gonna have this whole piece fall down? All right, now let's see if we see it compress. Wow. Okay, wow, those are really, really strong. Really strong, apparently. Okay, now I want to test out, we're just doing some experiments here. What if I stack a bunch of these on top of each other like that? All right, and go. That behaves a little weird. We're going to be playing with that some for sure. I want to stack 3 more next to it. All right, how's that going to behave? I wonder if whoops. I wonder if there's strings stacked into each other. Like, whoops. We broke it. Look at that. That's awesome. It's actually like completely broken. I don't know if that's like an intentional broken state visual or if we somehow glitched it, but that's amazing. Okay, the one thing we haven't actually experienced yet is the telescopic joint. So I think all we really need to do is just stick it right there and we should see it in action. Yeah, there we go. And then as we turn it, so this is just basically a free floating piston, as you can see. Gravity will pull it down and centripetal force presumably will also pull it down and stuff. So yeah, it's just an expandable piece of the creation. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. All right, now that we've gone over all of the new parts that are at our disposal, I want to try to create a spring-loaded projectile. I want to basically see if I can have these springs shoot out something when the experiment starts, maybe by using a piston to kind of hold the springs in compression mode and then lift up with one of the pistons and hope that it's going to shoot a projectile out. So let's try to build something. Here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've done what I can for the spring method, and the springs do not store as much energy as I was hoping, because here's what I built so far, so check this out. So you can see the springs, they expand out to here, and I wanted to see if I could compress them past the 1 block point. So I have this stepper servo slowly compressing them, and oh dang it, I fell. Hold on, I gotta restart. All right, so we'll compress them again. So you can see they get compressed down to this point. So then this is designed so that I can lift that piston up really, really quick, but then watch what happens. Not that quick of a rebound. So I'm going to make a modification here really quick. I'm actually going to move all of this up and just use a single spring, because what if, for whatever reason, maybe stacking springs actually ruins it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sphere. There we go. So this should work the same way. All right, let's see how much we can compress this now. All right, yeah, so it's stopping me right there. It's trying. It can go more than that if it really had the power, but it's stuck right there. So let's see how much spring power a single spring has. Yeah, so a single spring, as you can see, does not have a lot of spring power. Yeah, oh, in case you're wondering, I also have the ability to aim this up and down using a stepper motor. All right, so the good news about the pistons, the pneumatic pistons, is they already start at their minimum length. So it's going to be really easy just to put this in here and then just see how it goes. All right, so let's see what this feels like. Oh, okay, that didn't happen quite like I thought it was going to. Why did it go? That's interesting. All right, so I'm gonna experiment now. What happens? Oh, I'm gonna use glass so I can see what's going on. So basically, I'm gonna create a glass barrel so we can observe what is actually happening. All right, now we got a glass barrel so we can see everything that goes on. So, oh, that's not what meant to happen. I meant to go this way. Oh. Okay, that's also somewhat unexpected. The glass, like, really stops it. Wow. Maybe if I make this out of oil instead? The big downside to the oil is we're not going to be able to see through it. So basically, we don't know if it's going to go faster unless we see it come out of the end, which obviously we did not observe that. So it seems like the sphere here needs to have an opening. Let's try stacking pistons. Let's see how stacked pistons feels. I'm going to stack 3 pistons. We're going to set them all to the same switch. All right, and let's see if this treats it any differently. And go. Okay, stacking definitely stacks the effect as well. Wow, okay, now let's see if it'll work with an enclosure. All right, here we go. Glass enclosure, 3 pistons. Hey, that's not so bad. Now let's try it again, but we'll aim upwards just a little bit. There we go. And let's see if we can get some more projectile. All right, look at that. All right, let's aim up a lot more. And there we go. I don't want to fall off though. Oh, I'm almost falling off. And go. Oh, no way. We actually have a working projectile cannon. Now, this would be so much better if I could have like some type of reloading mechanism. Can I? Is it possible for me to have him feed in like right up here? All right, so I've got a super basic concept for a ammo feed mechanism, and I just want to see if this is going to work at all. Oh, no, that is not how that was supposed to go. That is not at all how that was supposed to go. Oh, whoops. There we go. Slightly aiming upwards actually seems to work. All right, let's see what happens if I do that. Oh, no, I forgot. The pistons, they don't have collisions when they extend, so that ruins that whole idea. We need to create a more advanced mechanism to make sure that these balls do not actually get down here until I'm ready for one. Which actually, I don't even think that's too hard to do. Okay, here we go. Now I have a reload mechanism, so I should be able to shoot that. Oh, that didn't go as fast as why didn't that go as fast as it normally does? All right, well, you know what? Let's not worry about that. We go ahead and contract them, and then I should be able to let... Oh, that's actually really hard to let just one down. All right, well, we let them all down, and we can shoot them all. All right, let's try this again. All right, let's aim up a little bit. There we go. All right, we shoot one. That looked pretty good. We bring these back, and then really quick reload. Oh, that worked. That worked. Shoot another one. Bringing them back. Quick reload. Oh, quick. Oh, I messed up again. You know, it's okay. Shoot that one, and now it's ruined. It's ruined. All right, so obviously there are ways to do this. There are totally ways that you can make a more efficient, more reliable reloading weapon here. This is just my initial first test of trying to do this, and I think it actually went way better than I expected it to be honest. I'm sure there's ways to actually make it so that everything works by being programmed by like a single switch. So you shoot and then you reload and then you shoot and then you reload and everything can be programmed off of a single lever like this. And I think that that would be pretty cool. But if you remember a few episodes ago, I tried to make a projectile launcher like this using spinning wheels and stuff like that. And it was an absolute failure. And this is only just a marginal failure. I mean, actually, no, it's not. Look, we are succeeding. This isn't a failure at all. This is just not a complete 100% success. This is just prone to error, that's all. So I'm curious then, with all the new updates that have been happening, what is your favorite new part from this update? Let me know down in the comments below, and let me know what you'd like to see in future updates based off of what you've seen so far. If you missed the previous episodes, go ahead and check out this entire playlist of them right here. You can see just how far the game has progressed just in a few episodes. I hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.